All right, Andrew, in this video, we're going to talk about some things that you can do to improve your pitching delivery. And the first principle we're going to focus on is this back leg and how we can use it to create more momentum and more rhythm with our delivery. And the second thing that we're going to focus on is the glove and what we can do to improve that so that we're more accurate and efficient. And so I want to begin by focusing on what the pros do. And I'm going to do that by drawing a line behind Mariano Rivera's back foot, knee, and hip. And I'm going to do the same thing with Eric Gagne. So we're going to pull him up so you can see both of these pro pitchers and what they're doing to be effective. And so now we have Eric Gagne up here. All right, and we'll draw that same line up the back foot, knee, and back hip. And let's take a look at Mariano Rivera. We're going to see him lift his knee up here. And as he lifts his knee, he's going to begin to work towards home plate. So he's lifting and leaning in towards home plate while staying balanced all at the same time. And now he's at the top of his knee lift. And at the top of his knee lift, I want you to notice how this back knee is already separated a little bit from this back line, and so is the back hip. Again, if we take them back, you'll see the back hip and the back knee separate. And essentially what he's doing is he's loading up his weight on the inside of his back leg, and he's beginning to thrust with his front hip. And as we take him further into his delivery, you're going to see him continue to shift his weight before he separates his hands. And right here, the hands have separated, and look what's happened. Notice the distance that his back knee gets from that original line, and notice the distance that his back hip gets. That allows him to create momentum towards home plate. And we're going to see the same thing here with Eric Gagne. We're going to get him into the top of his knee lift right here. And again, as he begins to lift, notice how he leans in towards home simultaneously. And at the top of his knee lift, he'll continue to shift his weight towards home plate. But look at already at the top of the knee lift how his knee is separated from that back line, and so is his back hip. And as we take him further forward, he shifts his weight and separates. And now, back knee again, back hip is separated from this line, and he'll continue to do that. This is what a good pitcher is going to do to create momentum so that they're throwing free and easy. Free and easy means that we use our weight and the big parts of our body, our legs and our hips, to do the work. All right, with that in mind, I want to pull up your video, the most recent video we have of you. You're going to see this right here, and I'm going to draw that same line up your back foot, knee, and hip. And you're going to notice here we're at the top of our knee lift. But notice that your back knee and your back hip has not separated at all. In contrast, let's take a look at Rivera. Top of the knee lift, look at how the back hip and the back knee separates. Already starting to shift in towards home plate. And then we're going to again see Rivera continue to shift his weight and drive off the inside of this back leg and then separate. And so look at all the distance that he's created from this original line before he even breaks his hands. Whereas with you here, you've already broken your hands right there, and you haven't separated really at all with the back knee and just a little bit with this back hip. So you're not using your body as much as you can. And for your size and your stature, using your body is going to be paramount for you throwing as hard as you can. So this is where we're going to have to be. Now, what I want to do really quickly is I want you to see both of you guys at the same time so that you can pay attention to this pitching principle in full motion. And we're watching this back leg, and you can see the difference in how Rivera shifts his weight before he separates his hands. All right, so with that in mind, let's talk about principle number 2. And that's what we do with our glove. And we're going to go ahead and pull up Eric Gagne again. And we're going to go and we're going to watch Eric Gagne as he lifts, breaks his hands, and gets into his landing position. Notice here as he separates how his glove works towards home plate. But when his front foot lands, look at how this front arm is bent. And this is critical as a pitcher because what we want to do is match the angle of our back arm, our throwing arm, with the angle of our glove arm. So the angle from shoulder to elbow to wrist should be the same on both sides. It's okay if your glove's down here, but the angle, the way that your arm is bent, should be the same way. And you'll see the same thing here with Mariano Rivera. He's going to get his arm nice and long here, but when his front foot lands right there, he's matching the angle. So you can see throwing arm, this is the angle from elbow or shoulder to elbow to wrist, and he matches that with his glove arm. And what this does for pitchers is it stabilizes them so that they can rotate their core faster. If this glove gets too far away from them when they land, it's harder to rotate the upper body. Okay? So if we go back and we watch what you look like when your front foot lands with your glove, you're going to notice a big difference here. I'm going to go ahead and get you into that foot strike position. When your front foot lands, look at the difference in the angle. Here's your throwing arm angle, which is fine, but look at your glove arm. All it is one straight line. And as a result, we don't have balance in our upper body. Again, notice the difference with Mariano Rivera and the angle that he creates with his glove arm. And so when your glove is way out here, it's hard to stabilize yourself and rotate your body. And you're going to see when you go to deliver how your glove just kind of flaps down towards your knee. Whereas with Mariano Rivera, when he goes to deliver, it stays firm, close to his chest, into release. And so that's the other thing that we're going to have to work on as a pitcher. But I'm really excited because you made a lot of improvements since we've worked together, and I'm confident that you're going to continue to make the right kind of improvements.